the 7th of October 2001, Narendra Modi was sworn in as Chief Minister of Gujarat for the first time. 23 years later, Modi is firmly holding the reins of the country as Prime Minister for the third time. With humble beginnings as the son of a tea seller, Narendra Modi spent his early days as an ordinary RSS pracharak. He then entered politics, becoming a dedicated BJP worker. 3 decades into his political journey, he has steadily risen as a strong contender for leadership. After spending years transforming the BJP into a formidable force in Gujarat, he was unanimously elected as the leader of the BJP's legislature party. In the state, becoming the Chief Minister of Gujarat in 2001 marked a new chapter for both the state and Modi's leadership journey. He spent 13 years as the CM and then won the mandate of the people of India in the Lok Sabha elections of 2014. His journey from Gujarat to Delhi's 7 Lok Kalyan Marg allowed him to drive transformative changes till the national level. Several schemes initiated under Modi's tenure as Chief Minister have been replicated across India, earning international recognition. These programs, ranging from sanitation and infrastructure to social welfare and community participation, showcase Prime Minister Modi's visionary approach. With that, we ask, is Prime Minister Modi's 23-year Jan Seva journey a fitting example of perseverance? Let's go across to our panel. Joining us live, Himanshu Bhatt, senior journalist, is live with us. Sumit Peer, political commentator, joins us live as well. Madhav Nalapat, editorial director of the Sunday Guardian, joins us live. Alok Mehta, editorial director of India News, is also with us on the broadcast. Himanshu Bhatt, let me begin with you first. You've, of course, seen Prime Minister Narendra Modi very, very closely in Gujarat. What do you now make of the journey as we look back of his immense contribution to the party, the state, and also the nation?
I'll tell you, I'll take you back to 2001 on 7th of October when he was sworn in Gandhinagar. Then he went and sat into his CM's office. And probably the first journalist to meet him was me. I met him. It was just a 10-15 minutes meeting. And he was very sure that, we should bring administration to people. It should go to the people. Jana Bhagidari. That was a word used in Gujarati also. And that is what he started with. Now when I look at that, and when I look at today, it's something like this. The events transpired. His first tenure as a chief minister was a very turbulent one. Socially, Godhra happened. And after that, he had to take the reins of the state, which he did so. Turned Gujarat into a model state, an industrialized state. How? Why is it that, Tata was thrown out of Singur, but succeeded in Sanand, in Gujarat? It's a different issue altogether. Whether the car worked or not, it's a different thing. It started from there. That concept of Jana Bhagidari. People should be given their due. And which, in a way, it started with that time. Gujarat was a wealthy state. It already developed to a great extent when Congresses were there, all right. But from there, starting from there, and then he saw one thing which caught everybody's eye. Beti Padhao, Beti Bachao. Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. Because that Patidar community, that the habit of despising the girl child. And he took it as a war, as a war. Now you find a lot of Patidars along with him still following that slogan. Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. That he took it centrally. Now from there, when I look at it, the first few years of his prime ministership, he himself said once that, मुझे समझने में वक्त लग गया दिल्ली की ये कारबार. It took him few years. But then, from the Red Fort, he started Swachhata Abhiyan. From there, when you go and progress to 2024, today you can say, some hate him. Many love him, but nobody can ignore him. He's made himself one of a political leader who was not invited to USA, who was rejected by USA, into a world statesman. US did not give him the visa in his earlier days. It's only when after he became prime minister, they gave him the visa. And more than that, I would say, It's something like, with this Jana Bhagidari and all his people-centric programs and the advent of economic rise, that has brought him a self-esteem. He is the one chiefly responsible for instilling the esteem or a pride of being an Indian. Today we can very clearly say that we are Bharatiyas, we are Indians, and which for many years after independence we were not able to say that with the pride. Now today I don't have an issue when I am standing in the line of immigration in some international airport where I flock my passport and they'll say, "Oh, Indian, please welcome." I'm not looked down. And that is the pride. And along with that, the landscape of the country, which changed along with it. That installation of pride on one side, and with that, the young population of average 27 years changed the landscape of India. So the political narrative is very, very big. See, some people may oppose it. It's all right. In a democracy, that is bound to happen. But then, when the majority does that, it's something like this. Nobody expected India to jump from 3 to 4 trillion in 2 years' time or a 5 years' time. Or nobody expects India to be a 5 trillion economy, let's say, maybe 10, 15 years ago by 2027. But that's going to be a reality. Who is responsible? Chiefly responsible for that? Narendra Damodar Das Modi. So that's why I say, some people may hate him for his name. But then many will love him for that. And that is what Narendra Modi is. And when you look at his journey of 23 years, it's something like, it's a long way to go still. I'll put it that way. There's a long way to go for people.
Yes.
It's something like 23 years are not
Absolutely.
enough.
You've spoken, of course, about Jan Bhagidari. Let's now talk about Jan Seva as well with Professor Nalapat, who's also seen this journey of Narendra Modi's very, very closely, of course, from Gujarat and, of course, to Delhi. 23 years of Jan service, Jan Seva, what do you make of this journey? What stands out according to you? And when you look back, what are your memories as well, Professor Nalapat?
Well, Uday, I'd like to point out that from infancy, from a very young age, Prime Minister Modi was proud to be born in India. I mean, foreigners call us India, we call ourselves Bharat. So the point is very simple. He had no helping hand. He had no godfather to help him. He had no financial resources. He had nothing except perseverance and dedication. And that has taken him to the top, as Himanshu very correctly said, of the global table. Not just in Gujarat, not just in India, but the global table. And I think, Uday, that's basically why, because that's why he's confident that the Bharatiya, the Indian, has got what it takes to reach the global level. Wherever he or she is born in, whatever the circumstances, wherever, whatever, be the situation, he or she is capable of world-class achievement. That pride in the Indian, that pride in all 1.4 billion of us is there when he addresses audiences, when he meets people. That pride that, we belong to a people who can show the world what really can be done. Now, he has come for his third term. Now, people have correctly said that Jawaharlal Nehru also came for a third term. But I would like to point out that during that time, there was no opposition to the Congress party. Up to the 1960s, so long as Nehru was there was no opposition at all, except in Kerala, where the Communist Party won unexpectedly and left equally unexpectedly. But after that, situation changed. From the late 60s, from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and then you had 30 years in which you had coalition governments. And then, of course, you had the Prime Minister Modi winning in 2014, again in 2019, and now in 2022 he has come back for a third term. he has come back under very difficult circumstances, under very difficult situations, both nationally and internationally. But I think it's a fact that his perseverance has endured. His perseverance is a lesson to all of us, Uday, to all of us, all 1.4 billion of us, that we are capable of doing anything if we set our mind to it. And I think that is the fundamental lesson that the life of Narendra Modi teaches us. Thank you.
Okay, let me in fact quickly also go across to Alok Mehta. Alok Mehta, what stands out according to you for in Prime Minister Narendra Modi's 23 years Jan service journey? Also, what are the qualities that set apart Narendra Modi from other leaders that we've seen in our nation? And for you, Alok Mehta, as you recap as well, your thoughts, your association, your memories of this this contribution to nation building of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, what would you like to recount?
Udayji, I have seen number of chief ministers and with the prime ministers from Mrs. Gandhi days to Modi ji. And what I feel, I have not seen the Lal Bahadur Shastri ji, because at the time I was not journalist and not a teenager. So, but I can compare only Lal Bahadur Shastri and Karpuri Thakur, Bharat Ratna Karpuri Thakur, from down to earth, knowing everything from the village to top level. Even because Lal Bahadur Shastri was working with Nehru and Indira Gandhi also, that's why I'm comparing. Maybe Karpuri Thakur was not so aware about the all over India. But Narendra Modi, from RSS days, he was moving from all over India. That's why the real assets, how successful because of the chief minister. Because I'm lucky because I'm very young age I started. So from Ghanshyam Ojha days, 72, 73, I was following in Delhi itself. For some time I used to go also there. So I know the chief ministers of Gujarat. So the success of in Gujarat had to happen because he was not a MLA, he was not contested any elections, but because he was knowing from Jammu Kashmir to Kanyakumari, before becoming chief minister. And here I will just correct her, just with all respect to Himanshu ji, he was invited by leadership program by United States long back, when he was not even, he was in the RSS. First he went himself, and then later on there is a program for international level. He was invited, and for 1 month he met number of people there. So Americans were aware. I can understand after this Godra and all the UPA government and the communist parties, and there also the American, they also have some bias. Maybe they wanted to please the present government or other parties in India. That's why he didn't get the visa. But earlier he had visa, he went there. You can find anywhere in the record also. I know because I'm following since then. So these kind of experience as a chief minister, how he can do with the Gram Panchayat every week, Himanshu ji will confirm it. Because what I know, I also visited the time when he was chief minister. Every week he was going around by helicopter or by road to listen to the problems of the people. So if you know the pulse of the problem, for vibrant Gujarat, you see, for big industries from all over the world, I have also attended 1 or 2 at the time when he was chief minister. You see, from United States, from Europe, people were coming at the same time. Other exhibition or the for small, after second or third day, they had the for small entrepreneurs, small industries, and even for agriculture people also. You'll surprise. Modernization agriculture, he used to do the exhibition at that time with the vibrant Gujarat. People think only because he want to please the industrialists. But what I feel, for farmers, he wanted what today we are facing. In Delhi or Mumbai, people say, okay, today also very major reports in a big newspaper that the retailers and the brokers, they are getting money and not the farmers because of the vegetables even in the Navratri time. These kind of problems he was aware. So on the rural area, for women, because he was from Nalpatji, very well said, because he was from poor family. So because he knows how the mother, what kind of problem they face, women how they face in the rural area or in cities also, what kind of atrocities. Minorities also in Ahmedabad, he was aware. And I visited, I wrote in Outlook in my column, still I have the copy. People say, okay, he's the Prime Minister, but no, at the time I visited. And Muslim area, people said, I have just sent a one postcard. My son is there in the jail. He's innocent. And after 15 days, he was released by even Prime Minister himself said, okay, there is no charge against him and he is innocent. And suddenly he was released when he got the information. So that's why now, Ahmedabad, Amit Shah winning, not just because people say minorities or the Danga was there, but even then, so these kind of communities you see to involve and see the vision for future. What Swami Dayanand or even if you say modern India, people credit due to Nehruji or even nuclear or Atalji, the nuclear, but I did for a nuclear program for pollution. This toilet, a yoga, it started. Yoga is an international event now.
Yes.
For health. When the Corona period also, how he helped in India.
Yes.
So I think number of, that's what I'm saying, women, for younger generation, self-employment. What he wanted to do, I will still feel that in Gujarat, people not asking like job like in, maybe everywhere in the United States, you go in Britain, you go, our family members, they also talk about the employment.
Okay.
But even then, just asking for a government employment is not the solution. For self-employment is skill development. What it should have started when Pranab Mukherjee introduced 100 crores for skill development.
Yes.
But then Chidambaram came and destroyed the whole scheme. But afterwards, the Modi did this kind of skill development. And last point, Dantewada I have visited. Udayji, you also go sometime there. After this Naxal operation, even last 10 years, now Dantewada skill development, 100% job they are getting in Jagdalpur and Dantewada area. I'm talking on the records which I have seen myself.
Absolutely.
And that's why this kind of development.
Okay. So it's been comprehensive. It's been comprehensive as you're clearly
Yeah.
saying, Alok Mehta. Sumit P, let me quickly draw you in here. You know, and if we talk about, you know, the sheer, long journey and the wide journey that he's had, we have to mention Gujarat, how he, built up the party there, of course, from both the RSS and the BJP, Sumit, and also to the fact that now he's been, out of Gujarat for almost 11 years, but the party is still standing strong. They're still winning state election after Lok Sabha election, after Panchayat election.
Uday, thank you very much for having me on the show. I mean, all my panelists have brought some eloquent points, and thanks for your question. You see, if you discover Modi ji, I want to take it to a bigger paradigm. It is once in a century, a person is born who is blessed by the God himself and has the divinity, has the ingredients to change the wave, turn the tides, change the paradigms of the politics. Because what is most difficult to change is the paradigms of the politics. How many of us can change the culture of our homes? Arey, wo bhi nahi hota, bhai. Nobody listens to us. But imagine changing the paradigms of the politics, changing the culture of the country, and changing the orientation and mindset of the country. So you are once in a century that phenomena is born, and that phenomena is Narendra Modi. You know what is Narendra Modi? Narendra Modi is Modi. Now you'll ask me what I'm telling. Have I lost my mind? You know what does Modi mean? Narendra Modi is equal to Modi. Modi is model of development of India. MODI, model O of development of India. That is how you will sum up Narendra Modi ji. Model of development of India is equal to Modi. This is what the line is basically. If you look at him, first off, as a pracharak, as a Swayam Sevak, he went to the grassroots. He traveled across the India. He went to Himalayas. Somebody sent him back. Nahi jaake kaam karo. He was spiritually very powerful, inclined. Then he went to Himalayas. He sent him back. As a Swayam Sevak, as a pracharak, he traveled the whole country. And I have seen incidents where he has narrated, I went to a railway station, I didn't have any money in the pocket, so nobody came to pick me up. I was waiting there for 6 hours. By the time somebody realized I had to come and pay, they picked me up. So when you have seen those days, you know the nooks and corners of the country. Then what do? You build a Sangathan for around 10 years. After Sangathan, they give you the chief ministership. And you do Rath Yatra, you go to Lal Chowk, apne Tiranga Phailai, you did all the things which were considered impossible. Then you are the chief minister for almost 3 terms. Then after chief minister for 3 terms, you become the prime minister for 3rd term. If I add up everything, 45 years of hardcore political experience at the age of 70, 75. And this is Sangathan, this is Pracharak, this is spirituality, this is organization, this is chief minister, and this is prime minister. It is the classical metamorphosis of an individual, what can happen. And this, if you look at the whole of the political spectrum of India, whole, where do you find a person with such a CV? I'm repeating, where do you find a person with such an impressive CV? We don't have. Now, when you look at the developments of the person, this person, because he came from a very average family or a lower middle class family, he was not born with a silver spoon in his mouth. So he knew what Bharat is about. He knew what Garibi is about. He knew what his mother had to do to bring him up. So when he started from there, he has those things in mind. And when he talked of development, when he talked of things, it was inclusive development. One, like for example, look at Jandar Aadhaar Mobile. JAM.
Yes.
Was an inclusive development. This was not about one person.
True.
Now look at insurance of 54 crore people, more than the population of United States of America, and the people who are being treated are more than the population of United Kingdom.
Absolutely.
So these are the things. Now after that, Uday, look at Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Look at 50 crore bank accounts opened. Look at around few crore toilets built. You know, when you talk of Modi, nothing is less. It's all crores and crores and crores. There's nothing which is...
Absolutely. And if you speak to Narendra Modi, he says that he's still got a lot left to do for the people of India. His service has not ended, nor will it end anytime soon. We'll have to leave it at that. We've run completely out of time. My thanks to all of our guests for joining us.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.